sort of a whiplash. Just last Thursday, a week ago Thursday, they celebrated Ravi's engagement, and then 5 days later they suffered a tragic loss of Rajeshri Ben. And we need to comfort them. I'll chant a verse that describes what life is all about. Sukhama patitam sevyam, dukhama patitam tatha, chakravat parivartante, sukhani cha dukhani cha. Basically what it means is that happiness and sadness, they go in a circle. Chakravat. And that's what they have experienced in the last 5 days. And that's why we all are here today, to give them support during this difficult time. Birth and death are eternal facts. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityum. The one who is born is going to die one of these days. We don't know when, but that is a fact. It's an eternal fact. And Rajeshri Ben has already taken that journey, and we are here to prepare her. Our job is to prepare her for her last journey from this earth to the heavens above. We would be very prayerful for Sadgati, Urdhvagati, and Pragati of her soul on this journey. Our journey from now on is to go from Shok to Ashok. Our focus needs to be on Nitya, something that is always there, and change the focus from Anitya. Anitya is defined as something that is not permanent. Life is not permanent. So we need to look at Anitya, keep that in mind at all times. Mortality, when we get in touch with mortality and our impermanence on this earth, that's when we become more spiritual. Philosophers have said that mortality is the mother of all of the world religions. Early on, human beings could not understand what happened at death, and they tried to explain it in their own different ways. All the religions of the world try to explain what happens after a person dies. That is the basis of religion. It's not the fear of death, but it is explaining something that helps us continue living and continue to progress. They tell us that time helps in this grief process. Yes, I agree. Time alone doesn't help. I've seen people grieving about their loved ones that they have lost for years. So we have to do something in addition to the passage of time. And that's where we need to focus on Anitya and Nitya. That's when we need to shift our focus from Bhautik to Adhyatmik. that will help us too. I was thinking, I have known Rajeshri for a long time, close to 35 years. And she proved that she is a fighter, a very brave fighter. She fought against this cancer for 3 years. She was also an ideal patient. The definition of patient is somebody who is suffering in silence. And she did. She suffered, but she never had any negative word about her condition. She accepted that. She accepted that. She managed it as best as she could, and ultimately, she lost the fight. Ultimately, the cancer prevailed. But it was a good fight. Rajeshri is also a food lover. She enjoyed eating different kinds of cuisines. And when the cancer would not let her eat, and she went through that for almost a year when she could not eat anything, guess what she was doing? She had the food channel on, and she would watch food channel 24/7. Whenever she was awake, she had the food channel on. And it was on silent. It was muted. So she was just getting some satisfaction from watching the preparation of the foods. And that was her satisfaction. That was her joy. I'm sure, Rajeshri Ben, there's a banquet waiting for you in the heavens. And Rajeshri Ben, you're not in pain anymore. Feel free to laugh and smile like you're doing in that picture. And Rajeshri Ben, I need to tell you, you prepared the best vegetable tamale, homemade, when Varsha and I came to eat at your place. I've never had such delicious tamales. And I don't know if I told you, but now I'm telling you. Rajeshri Ben did a wonderful job, courageous job as president of the Seva Samiti of India Heritage Society for 3 years. For 3 years, while she was fighting cancer, she continued to serve. And we had some very, very successful events organized by her and her team. We had the most successful Festival of India event in August, just 4 months ago. And she could not participate as actively at that time. But all the planning and organization ahead of time, and I picture her staying in her bed with her cell phone and texting away to everybody and staying in touch with everybody. But she did that. and that was the most successful Festival of India event in the history. So when we have volunteers like Rajeshri Ben, India Heritage Society has a very bright future. Rajeshri Ben was family and community oriented person. Her motto was Swameya Alpaha Samajaya Sarvasva. For me, just a little bit, but for the community, everything. She was involved in the temple project from its inception. From 84 onwards, when we started talking about building a temple, when she moved to Roanoke, and even when they moved away because of Jagdish Bhai's job, she was always involved and kept herself informed. And I would call them one of the nuclear families, one of the fundamental families that build the foundation of the temple. She practiced the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam in a very practical way. We are all in this together was her philosophy, and she did it, she pulled it off in a very practical way. What we are going to do today is we'll have some more eulogies from family members and friends. If time permits us, we'll chant and read the 2 adhyayas of Bhagavad Gita. We'll do brief puja vidhi. The main purpose of the puja vidhi today is to purify and sanctify the body and to prepare her journey onward and outward. When we all get a chance to offer our Shraddhanjali, I would request that we always do it in an anti-clock rotation. So we'll start from my left, Brijesh. Okay, and we'll start from the last row, and one by one, people will come, pay their respects, and will depart the other way. It has to be anti-clockwise. And the family also, we would do some parikrama, some circambulation, and that would be anti-clockwise, and you'll be making full circle anti-clockwise. So I'm going to ask Ravi, this is his duty and honor. Yeah, that's for that, yeah. This is going to be his duty and an honor to do some puja, and then we'll have some eulogies, and then we'll have time for reading Bhagavad Gita, and we'll have some time for bhajan and kirtan. I was told that we don't have to do Agni Samskar exactly at 5 p.m. and I'm fine with that. Ravi? तुलसी भगवानों को समझाने की कोशिश। ओके, वंडरफुल। So first we're gonna offer these three leaves. So the vidhi that Jagdish did is called Akhand Saubhagyavati Vidhi. A lot of women, when they pass away before their husband, uh, they are gone in the form of Akhand Saubhagyavati in a married state. And I'm sure this was very difficult for Jagdish to do, but he has done, and thank you for doing it. Um, Statistically, men die before women. You know that, right? Statistically, men live about 3 years shorter than women. And it is in this unusual circumstance where woman passes away before the man, and so there's a slight difference in the variation in the vidhi. So we have sanctified, purified um, Rajeshri Ben's body, and before we go on her final journey in Agni Samskar, uh, we would like to sing some bhajans that were her favorites, and then I would invite some people to help us know Rajeshri Ben as well as you have known. And again, this can be a difficult time, but it's also very, very cathartic. It is helping in the grief management. When we talk about the loss over and over again, it is getting us to a point where we are starting to heal. Brain heals from traumatic events by replaying and repeating in its head all these things, what we remember, what we saw last, etc., etc. And it is very useful. It is very useful, very healthy to talk about it, and this gives the chance. The eulogy will give everybody a chance to talk about Rajeshri Ben and what they remember most about her. Okay, bhajans, please.
नमामि यमुनामहं सकलसिद्धिहेतुं मुदा मुरारीपदपङ्कज स्फुरदमन्दरेणुत्कटं तटस्थनवकाननं प्रकटमुत्तपुष्पाम्बुनां सुरासुरसुपूजिता स्मरपितु श्रियं बिभ्रतिं कलिन्दगिरिमस्तके पददमन्दपुरोज्ज्वला विलासगमनलोत्सत प्रकटगण्डशैलोन्नता सघोषदातिदन्तुरा समधिरूढदोलोत्तमा मुकुन्दरतिवर्धिनी जयति पद्मबन्धुसुता भुवं भुवनपावनी मदिगता मनेकस्वने प्रियाभिरिव सेवितां सुखमयूरहंसादिभिः तरङ्गभुजकङ्कण प्रकटमुक्तिकावालुका नितम्बततसुन्दरी नमत कृष्णतुर्यप्रियाम् अनन्तगुणभूषिते शिवविरञ्जिदेवस्तु ते धनाधननिभे सदा ध्रुवपराशराभीष्टदे विशुद्धमथुरातटे सकलगोपगोपीवृते कृपाजलधि संसृते मम मनसुखं भावय अयाचरणपद्मजा मुररिपो प्रियं भावुका समागमनतो भवत् सकलसिद्धिदा सेवतं तया सदृशतामियात् कमलजासपत्नीवयत् हरिप्रियकलिन्दया मनसि मे सदा स्थीयतां नमोऽस्तु यमुने सदा तव चरित्रमत्यद्भुतं न जातु यमयातना भवति ते पयपानत यमोऽपि भगिनीसुतान् कथमुहन्ति दुष्टानपि प्रियो भवति सेवनात् तव हरेर्यथा गोपिका ममास्तु तव सन्निधौ तनुनवत्वमेतावता न दुर्लभतमारति मुररिपो मुकुन्द प्रिये अतोऽस्तु तव लालना सुरधुनि परं सङ्गमात् तवैव भुवि कीर्तिता न तु कदापि पुष्टिस्थिते स्तुतिं तव करोति कमलजासपत्नी प्रिये हरेर्यदनुसेवया भवति सौख्यमामोक्षत इयं तव कथाम्बिका सफलगोपिका सङ्गम स्मरणश्रमजलाणुभिः सकलगात्रजे सङ्गम तवाष्टकमिदं मुदा पठति सूरसूते सदा समस्तदुरितक्षयो भवति वे मुकुन्दे रति तया सकलसिद्धयो मुररिपुष्य सन्तुष्यति स्वभावविजयो भवेत् वदति वल्लभ श्रीहरि सर्वे मार्गेषु नष्टेषु कलौ च खलधर्मिणि पाषाण्डप्रचुरलेकोय कृष्ण एव गतिर्मम मल्ले चाक्रान्तेषु देशेषु पापैकनिलयेषु च सत्पीडाव्यग्रलोकेषु कृष्ण एव गतिर्मम गङ्गादितीर्थवर्येषु दुष्टेरेवावृतेष्विहं तिरोहितातिदेवेषु कृष्ण एव गतिर्मम अहङ्कारविमूढेषु सत्सु पापानुवर्तिषु लाभपूजार्थयत्नेषु कृष्ण एव गतिर्मम अपरिज्ञाननष्टेषु मन्त्रेष्वव्रतयोगिषु तिरोहितादिदेवेषु कृष्ण एव गतिर्मम नानावादविनष्टेषु सर्वकर्मव्रतादिषु पाषाण्डकप्रयत्नेषु कृष्ण एव गतिर्मम अजामिलादिदोषाणां नाशकोऽनुभवे स्थितं ज्ञापिताखिलमाहात्म्यं कृष्ण एव गतिर्मम प्राकृता सकला देवा गणितानन्दकं बृहत् पूर्णानन्दो हरिस्तस्मात् कृष्ण एव गतिर्मम विवेकधैर्यभक्त्यादि हितस्य विशेषेतः पापासक्तस्य दीनस्य कृष्ण एव गतिर्मम सर्वसामर्थ्यसहित सर्वत्रैवाखिलार्थकृत शरणस्थसमुद्धारं कृष्णायैव कृष्णाश्रयमिदं स्तोत्रं यथेत कृष्णसन्निधौ तस्याश्रयो भवेत् कृष्ण इति श्रीवल्लभो भवेत्।
While the ladies are searching for the next bhajan.
Madaram maduram vadanam maduram nayanam maduram hasitam maduram hridayam maduram gamanam maduram maduraधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं वचनं मधुरं चरितं मधुरं वसनं मधुरं वलितं मधुरं चलितं मधुरं भ्रमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं वेणुर्मधुरो रेणुर्मधुरा पाणिर्मधुरः पादौ मधुरो नृत्यं मधुरं सख्यं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं गीतं मधुरं पीतं मधुरं मुक्तं मधुरं सुप्तं मधुरं रूपं मधुरं तिलकं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं करणं मधुरं तरणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं रमणं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं गुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीची मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरम् इष्टं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा यष्टिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा दलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं राधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्। हारे वाला अर्जी हमारी सुनो श्रीनाथ जी लई जाजे तारा धाम माँ। हारे वाला अर्जी हमारी सुनो श्रीनाथ जी लई जाजे तारा धाम माँ। हारे मारा अंत समय ना बेली हारे हवे मेलो नहीं हड़सेली। हारे हूँ तो आवी उभो तम द्वारे श्रीनाथ जी લઈ જાજે તારા ધામમાં. અરે વાલા અરજી અમારી સુણો શ્રીનાથજી, લઈ જાજે તારા ધામમાં. હારે નાથ કરુણા તણા છો સિંધુ, હારે હું તો યાચું છું એક જ બિંદુ. હારે એક બિંદુમાં નહીં થાય ઓછું શ્રીનાથજી, લઈ જાજે તારા ધામમાં. હારે વાલા અરજી અમારી સુણો શ્રીનાથજી, લઈ જાજે તારા ધામમાં. હારે મારું અંતર લેજો વાંચી, હારે નથી મહેંદીમાં લાલી લખાતી. હારે પાને પાને એ પ્રસરી જાતી શ્રીનાથજી, લઈ જાજે તારા ધામમાં. હારે વાલા અરજી અમારી સુણો શ્રીનાથજી, લઈ જાજે તારા ધામમાં. હારે તને સમજું ને શું સમજાવું, હારે કે તો અંતર ખોલીને બતાવું. હારે તારા ભક્તોને એક જ આશા શ્રીનાથજી, લઈ જાજે તારા ધામમાં. હારે વાલા અરજી અમારી સુણો શ્રીનાથજી, લઈ જાજે તારા ધામમાં.
If I may continue, can you hear me? Okay. The ladies sang some kirtan that directly related to Lord Krishna. So I have a prayer for Lord Krishna. O Lord Krishna, we know that Patel Parivar has suffered a terrible loss. We know that family must accept this loss and learn to live with it. O Krishna, help them endure the loss. Help them endure the agony. Let them feel your presence in their heart. They need your help. O Lord Krishna, may the soul of Rajeshri Ben Patel rest in heaven, and may her memories live in the hearts of all his on this earth. The second prayer is to our Purvaj, our Pitrugana, and we are praying to them that they look after Rajeshri Ben when she arrives in heaven, and maybe she'll attend a day of orientation with them, and then she'll start helping them. That's my prayer. And the verse is Om Ugraye Vadanti Ramutam Drupate Payaha Kilabin Paristatram Swadhasa Tarapayat Me Pitrun. Let's all observe a moment of silence. I'll end the meditation with 3 ohms. like to invite Bhumi first to help us learn more about Rajeshri Ben.
For 3 years, my mom fought long and hard to be with her family, and she was able to hold on to see what she desired and wished for. To say that she was strong is an understatement. Anyone else in her position would have given up when the doctors told her it was time to let go. But she powered through and continued her fight. And a big part of her success is my dad. My dad is nothing less than a superhero. He researched, learned, taught himself many new skills to take care of her, without complaint and without a single day off. The power of love and dedication to one another. Mummy was always the life of any party. She laughed with her whole body, danced to her heart's desire, and loved life always, even in her darkest days. She never gave up, and she never showed anyone how much pain she was in. She kept it to herself for the sake of her family. All I can say is that from here on out, we can carry her along all of our journeys and take her along for the ride. So the next time you watch a Govinda movie, you think of her. The next time you drink a Coke, you think of her. The next time you go to Garba, you think of her. The next time you're in Chicago and you go to Al's Beef, you think of her. Because she was one of a kind, and we will miss her and love her always.
Thank you for everyone coming today. Today we say goodbye to an amazing mom, wife, sister, and friend. My mom had many amazing qualities. We all know that. I think all of us here know what a special and unique person she was. Today we are all grieving, but there are many things you could learn from her that exemplify her in every way of her nature and herself. The most prominent and everlasting will be her strength. My mom was diagnosed 3 years ago, like you said. Since that day, she's lived in extreme pain. For her pain continued over the months and years without complaint. She never complained about it. She would have excruciating stomach, back, full body pain. And as her disease progressed and worsened, she lost her stamina and her ability to move around, and she had to give up the things she loved. Over the last year, she had to give up cooking and wasn't able to eat. And in our family, those are two things that are most treasured activities. She must have felt so defeated and hopeless, not being able to take care of her family. But she did it without complaint. I say must have because not once did she ever mention it or complain about it or show any weakness. She endured and fought until the very end. There's a famous celebrity who died of cancer, Stuart Scott, who said, when you die of cancer, that does not mean that you lost. You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and in the manner in which you live. And my mom lived for her family till the very end, so she did not lose. She lived and she passed away with grace and dignity. She endured. It's the difference between being dragged into the abyss to face death versus walking towards it with your head held high and with the ultimate courage. Her example I will carry with me forever. She just showed me that she showed me how to face the darkness and not run from it. She showed me that pain is a part of life and it's okay. She showed me that there are different types of pain. There's the empty pain you feel when you're leaving home, when you're graduating, or when you're taking the next step in life. That feeling of pain of walking out of somewhere safe and familiar and going into the unknown. The big pain you feel when the universe upends your plans and your expectations. The sharp little pains you feel of failure and missed expectations and opportunities. There are the more obscure pains, the ones you feel when a success didn't go or give you the same feeling that you thought you would. There are those sharp stabbing pains you feel when hope is being torn apart. There are also those great little pains of finding others and the joy that you find in love between them and the joy you give to each other. There's the steady, unnerving pain of empathy that we all shrug off, so we can stand beside those that care and to help them bear their sorrows. Today, it's okay to feel pain. I learned that pain is a part of life. It keeps us going, helps us strive for good, helps us appreciate the good. Pain makes everything a little sweeter. Everyone is always down on pain. It's because we all forget something very important about pain. Pain is for the living. Only those that have died do not feel pain. So today, I'm glad she is pain-free and at rest. Thank you.
જય શ્રી કૃષ્ણ. ભાભી પ્રેમથી હું એમને પ્રજાઈ કહેતો. ભાભી એટલે મા સમાન. And I lost two mothers in a less than a year. It was so shock to the family, especially Jagdish, Ravi, Bhumi, and a whole family. My mother and Bhabhi, they both have a kind of a similarity about keeping the surprises. They cannot keep the surprises themselves. If you tell them something that in a community or a family, that don't tell anyone, but they both share that news each other always. અમુક વખત ભાભીને ખબર ના પડી હોય અને બહારથી ખબર પડે તો મમ્મીને તરત ફોન કરે બાને, મમ્મી મને કેમ કહ્યું નહીં? That is what she was. We whole family love her Saturday dinner. She always cook and she always ask me, અતુલભાઈ શું ખાવું છે આ શનિવારે? So she was cooking anything. Another experience I have, when she got married, it was 1980. Ahmedabad, અમે રહીએ. Family was busy in Sunao for Rajubhai's wedding. And she came, I had a job, Jagdish had a job. And we knew that she knew some cooking, not all. But she fed us, me and him both, for a month. It was so nice of her. Talking about Jagdish, he is kind of more of a friend than my brother. Jagdish, you have me, Harsha, Rajubhai, Ila Babi, and a good dedicated friends in Roanoke. So you do not have to worry. We will always support you and we'll be there for you. Lastly, I would like to thank all of them who came today from out of state. And a special thank to Jidubai who flew this morning and he's even has to go back tonight. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. The best thing about having a sister was always having a friend. We were lovingly called by our family, baby and teeny. Were two peas in a pod. Baby was 2.5 years older than me, but you would think that we were twins. We were inseparable from the very start. We lived our lives in parallel, side by side. As children, we went to school together, we played together, we had the same friends. As we grew up, we shared similar likes and dislikes. We both grew to love cooking, but more importantly, feeding others and the joy it brought to those around us. In the beginning, when we were in school, baby didn't like cooking. She would do all the dishes and everything. And I was the one who would do most of the cooking. But after moving to Ronak, she learned all different type of food. When we bought each other gifts, we would unknowingly get each other the same things. That is the similarity we both had. We moved together to the US from India, and we had each other to share the experience of the transition, which was priceless. We got married just days apart, and over the years, celebrated many anniversaries together. My family and baby's family, we always traveled together. We lived close to one another in our early married years. Our firstborns, baby's daughter Bhumi and my son Vimal, were born only a couple of months apart and grew up together the first few years of their lives. Our families went on vacations together and enjoyed so many milestones over the years. Suffice it to say that we shared innumerable experiences together, and I do not think there is another person in the world that knew me as well as baby did. She was always so particular in her ways, always knew what she wanted, and was extremely strong-willed. I knew this about her as a child, but this became even more apparent the last few years as she was struggling through her illness. There are times I question why her, knowing that we never have the answers for that. Thought I wish it weren't the case. We had so many plans for the future, so many more things we wanted to experience together. All I can say is that I'm grateful for the things that we did. She will forever be in my heart, and I'm blessed to have had a sister like her in my life. I would also like to share a poem with you all today. There is some ordinary person wrote this poem, but something that I liked. A sister is someone who loves you from the heart. No matter how much you argue, you cannot be drawn apart. She is a joy that cannot be taken away. Once she enters your life, she is there to stay. A friend who helps you through difficult times. Her comforting words are worth much more than dimes. A partner who fills your life with laughs and smiles. These memories last for miles and miles. When she's by your side, the world is filled with life. When she's not around, your days are full of strife. A sister is blessing who fills your heart with love. She flies with you in life with the beauty of a dove. A companion to whom you can express your feelings, whether you are having your ups or downs. She always helps you with a smile and never frowns. With a sister, you cannot have a grudge. She is as sweet as chocolate and as smooth as fudge. Having a sister is not just a friend. It is knowing you can always turn to her, your best friend. Baby, I'm gonna miss you very much. Jagdish bhai, thank you for taking care of my sister. Jai Shri Krishna.
I'm looking. I'm looking. Yes, we do. Come on over.
Jai Shri Krishna. Rajeshri અને જગદીશ જ્યારે 86માં અહીંયા આવ્યા ત્યારથી right away became very good friends. And my wife and Rajeshri hit it off really well. And the one thing I can tell you about Rajeshri is I have never heard her saying bad things about anybody. I remember that she is always seeing positive in everybody. We went together in 94 to India, and we were living across from each other. And Taru was going to Bhavnagar without any worry because Rajeshri was there. And everybody knows her cooking. She's got that from her mom. Her mom was a very good cook. If anybody had a Chicago-style pizza, you know that. And Rajeshri's command is probably nobody can beat. And she always cared that everybody ate, everybody have enough to eat, always. And what I like about her is she's always smiling. And I would just read my daughter's pujas when she heard about this. Her excitement and sweet giggle. She was one of the quietest, but kindest women I ever met. The world is little dimmer without her light. This is, and her Pooja's wedding, Rajeshri basically took it over and she did everything possible. And Jagdish also. And my son, who was just 2 years old, and he used to run to Rajeshri's house all the time. And he loved Bhumi and the whole family. And I know Rajeshri's whole family from Jagdish's side as well as Tini and Yatin and Mehul and her mom and dad and everybody. And it's really a big loss, but we have to remember that what she did. And there is another message that I received is from my son. She was a truly kind soul who loved to take care of her loved ones and make the most delicious food for us. She always spoke up and was an honest soul. May she rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to say a few words? Okay. Once again, thank you for being here. We will start with Shraddhanjali for everybody to come and go in anti-clockwise, as I was explaining earlier. That's what people do at funerals, anti-clockwise rotation. And you can rotate out front. We'll have some flower petals. After the Shraddhanjali from everybody, the family will also get a chance to say their goodbyes, and they've brought so many things for her to take on her journey. So we'll go through that. Different families and different parts of Gujarat have different traditions, and we want to honor whatever traditions the family wants to pursue. And I'll be here. There's nothing wrong, and there's nothing prohibited. So please feel free to do that. But let us start with everybody from the last row. Come and do the Shraddhanjali. So we come out here and then go behind and then go back to your seats. And if we can, we'll chant Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Please. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Abajuti પાસે તારો Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. 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 Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. 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 Shri Krishna Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. We'll get ourselves organized. Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. 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 Jai Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Jai Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
પ્રેમથી સહુ માંગીએ શરણું મળે સાચું તમારું એ હૃદયથી
I would ask the family members to make the offerings that they have brought with love for her final journey.
આત્માને શાંતિ સાચી આપજો કર્મના યોગે કરીને જે કુળમાએ અવતારે ત્યાં પૂર્ણ પ્રેમે ઓ પ્રભુજી આપની ભક્તિ કરે 184 બંધનોને લક્ષમાં લઈ કાપજો પરમાત્માએ આત્માને શાંતિ સાચી આપજો સુખ સંપત્તિ સુવિચારને સત્કર્મનો લઈ વારસો જન્મો જન્મ ભક્તિથી કીર્તાર પાર ઉતારજો આલોકને પરલોકમાં
ભજન કરવા ભાવથી સાચું બતા
આપણે રવિ will place it in the coffin.